has had a Hollywood career spanning over 7 decades, so she's picked up quite a few stories along the way. In fact, during the commercial break, she was outrageous. None of those stories we can tell you.
Absolutely not. Dame Jo Collins is spilling her showbiz secrets with no apologies to anyone mentioned in her new book, My Unapologetic Diaries, and she joins us now. And congratulations, firstly, on the book. It's everything you would want it to be, actually. And these are your diaries. I mean, you kept a diary since you were a little girl, but I think it was in 1989 that you started recording your entries on a dictaphone, and this is based on those.
Yes, and it started in the dressing room at Dynasty, where I'd spent 9 years, and I was holding it up, and I thought, I can't do my lines anymore because I've done that. OK, I'll write about this. So I started writing, talking, not... And I said, OK, so here's where I've been for 9 years. I've done everything in this 2x4 room. And I said, so it's now Goodbye Dynasty, Hello West End, and Noel Coward and Private Lives. So I went on to Private Lives, and it's all about how we did auditions. And then basically what it is about is sort of a lesson for people who hit the high spots in celebritydom and then find themselves plummeting down. Because I was, at the time, you know, a very, very big female television star.
TV.
And I thought, OK, I don't want to do another TV series. I'll go back to the theatre, which was my first love, and then after that I'll be inundated with offers. Well, hello, I wasn't, because everybody thought I was Alexis. Everybody thought I was that vicious, evil, nasty character. Well, I quite liked her anyway. And so a lot of projects came up, and this is in, and then I had to surmount the difficulties of going and pitching, and people saying, oh, well, she used to be hot, but now she's not. So there's a lot of stories in there, and about resilience, about...
But also, I mean, you were a feminist long before it was mentioned really, you know, at large.
Before people knew what the word was, practically.
Because you negotiated with... John Forsyth was earning more money than you in Dynasty, and your co-star. So you said, right, that's it, I want to earn as much as him. Quite right.
Yes.
So they gave you as much as him, but cut your hours down.
That was terrible.
Outrageous.
That's in the diary. So I went up to the first day of the last season, 9 years, and they came in and said, so, Joan, sorry about this, but instead of being in 20 episodes, you're only going to be in 10. I said, why? I just got a raise. They said, we can't afford you. This was rather showing the cynicism of what happens in Hollywood, and also the misogynisticness and how they treat women. Now, it's much, much better now, but there was a period in time when, as a pretty young girl, you couldn't walk down the street without being pinched or come up to my office and let's talk about doing another movie together, that kind of thing. You know. Well, you've had it, obviously. But not so much now.
I mean, I think it's more because of people like you who started that originally that made it much easier for people like me, actually. So, in a way, thank you for that. You've got lots of showbiz stories in there. You know, you've got Sir Roger Moore, who was a great friend of yours, and these wonderful dinners that you used to go to, but also Princess Diana, who I know you were a huge admirer of. And she actually asked you for advice about how to deal with being in the spotlight.
She did. It was at a big charity event in Palm Beach, and there were thousands of photographers and thousands of jostling people outside this black tie event, and I was shown to be presented to her, and as we were shaking hands, and they were clicking and yelling and saying, Diana, look this way, and she said, oh, she said, is it always like this? How do you get used to it? I said, you just have to try. You just have to get used to it. It was maybe 6 months after her marriage. And she said, I don't think I'll ever get used to it. And I saw her many times after that. She actually came to Private Lives. She came backstage and chatted. She was always so charming and sweet and vulnerable. And I have lovely letters from her because I gave her one of my beauty books. And she said that she got lots of good advice from it. She didn't need it. She was so beautiful.
You say the red carpet is fake. There aren't any decent parties anymore, and you say it's paraded by people who go down there, rent their jewels, have their picture taken for Instagram, and then go home.
And put their jeans on and watch TV. Yes, no, it actually is. Well, you know, you were on it the other day. I didn't go on it because I was doing so.
Adele's red carpet. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although I didn't borrow anything, it was my stuff.
Oh, right. Well, of course. No, but the men don't need to. But I usually wear my own things because I can never fit into anything. But it is, and it's become more and more so. Whereas when I first went to Hollywood, it wasn't called the red carpet, it was called a premiere or a party. And the women did wear their own clothes, and they had beautiful satin and silk dresses and always had a mink stole or a fox fur thing. And then everybody would go out and party afterwards and go and dance, and because they didn't want to go home and watch TV, because that was really boring.
But you did go out partying the other night, because we have footage of this. This is the most brilliant thing. We're going to show it now. This is you and Liza Minnelli dancing, singing The Night Away. Let's have a look.
So you can sniff out a party.
Oh, I can, yes. But, you know, we all get invited to lots of parties, but they're not as much fun as they used to be. Because, first of all, most places, they're so loud, and you can't hear yourself have a conversation like we're having a conversation. I don't have to raise my voice. But if you go to a cocktail, or if you go before an event, you have to scream at the top of your voice. What are you doing lately? Oh, I'm starring in Star Trek or something.
I mean, you say, I mean, it is called the Unapologetic Diaries. So, entry for the 2001 Oscars, you liken Pamela Anderson's outfit to a hooker on holiday and say that she brought trailer trash fashion right into the 21st century.
Yeah.
You call Donald Trump an ungallant schmuck, and Boris Johnson looks like he brushes his hair with an egg beater.
Yes, I did say all these things, and these are things that I spoke into my diary when I came home. They were on the spot, feelings and attitudes and saying what I saw. And maybe I might change my mind about some of those things if I saw Pamela come in a nice dress like you're wearing. But I've seen her several times. And
has anyone been offended?
Yes, one person has. I got a report that one member of, well, not necessarily one of the front line royals, but one of the royals related was offended by what I said about him, because. But it was reported to me by somebody else who was a royal, and said he's one of the most boring members of the royal family. So I wrote that. And he didn't like it. He said to a friend of mine, "Why would she write that?" And so the friend said, "Well, maybe because you are."
This is not going to be hard to track down, is it, really?
No, you can read it. It's in there. I'm not going to say it on national TV.
It's sort of it's the beginning of the next book, I think.
Oh, you think? Oh, yeah. How I trashed the royals. No, I wouldn't do that. No, I am writing about my COVID diaries, which... But I just feel that everybody is so terrified of saying the wrong thing today.
Yeah.
That I say what I feel, and if people don't like it, then that's really sad. But I've had rotten things written about me, much crueler than what I said about Pamela Anderson or anybody else. I mean, really vile, from the time I was 17 and came into the business. So, you know, look, if you can't stay in the game, get out of it, because it's tough.
I think she's been getting advice from Jack D, actually.
Oh, really? Does he?
Joan, it's always a pleasure.
Honestly, we love it. Thank you.
The whole studio is dripping in stardust and glitter because you're here.
Oh, well, I love being with you too.
Wow, thank you. And that is the book we're talking about. It is quite unapologetic, actually. My Unapologetic Diaries, and that's Joan's book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank you very much.
guys.